This is a video about it's kind of a practical application of a certain concept of using pain to motivate um, forward motion towards success. So some of the ideas that I've kind of been thinking, well, that I've thought about for a long time, but I've really kind of been thinking about a little differently recently. Um, First of all, the only thing that really motivates a person is either pleasure or pain. When you break it all down, all the possible motivations, it comes down to pleasure or pain. Either a person sees what they want and is attracted to it and desires it, and desire pulls them forward towards pleasure, or there's pain behind them. There's fear of what will happen if they don't act, um, if they don't start moving forward towards what they want. They're going to run out of money. They're going to be hungry. Um, their utilities are going to get turned off. Whatever. And so, for me, having a job, I think that a lot of people they don't associate entrepreneurship and making money as the thing that will end their pain. Most middle class people associate their job with the thing that will um, that will end their pain, that will provide them with enjoyment. But entrepreneurship is not, and that's unhealthy for someone that wants to be successful. If they're not the kind of person that can be motivated to go out and have success with a job, then that job is keeping them from developing the entrepreneurial skill set that they need, because they don't see being an entrepreneur and making money as um, what will give them enjoyment. They see their job as that. They like the stability of that steady paycheck coming in, week after week. It's easy. They can hate their job. They can hate their boss. They can hate what they do. They can hate the people that they work with. But having that paycheck, um, that's the thing that eases their pain. So for these kinds of people, for people like me, really, for me to develop my entrepreneurial skills, I had to quit my job. Um, Before I was really ready to quit my job in a way that really was responsible, um, financially, because what that did is that exposed me to possible pain for not moving towards my goal as an entrepreneur, and I was extremely ill-equipped to be an entrepreneur. But when you've only got $1,000 in your pocket, um, and you're like, oh crap, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to keep my utilities turned on? You start getting creative. You start finding new solutions. And at first, you're not that good at it, but you find ways. Um, and this I haven't had a job for years, but this could backfire for someone. They could have to go get a job again. I understand that. But the principle of having the principle of the thing is that if that's what's keeping people from having success, they shouldn't be doing it. Um, so now there's this other thing that can happen. That is, you can quit your job and have a big pile of money, and that money keeps you from feeling the pain that you have to feel to move forward and have success. And I would say for a person like this, they can actually use that money to gain skills. They can use that money, which is kind of a handicap, as an advantage. And that is, they can take all that money and plow it all into a business, which, knowing that they have no skill as an entrepreneur, they will probably fail at. But in return for that failure, they will gain a ton of experience. Experience that they could gain by just having no money and suffering. But they'll gain experience on a level that a person without money could not gain experience on. They can hire employees or an employee, and they could learn about what it's like to manage someone, and they could learn to not be nice and sweet to people and give them everything they want, while these people basically essentially rob them blind and take all their money away from them. Important skills that, if someone grew up poor, they would have learned to stand up for themselves without having to blow through a lot of money. Um, but let's say a person doesn't have money. I think that's a great place to be in to learn entrepreneurial skills, um, because you're very close to your pain. Pain can creep up on you very quickly, and you can learn then that pursuing, you have that pain behind you to push you forward to become an entrepreneur, to go for success. But there's always that point where you can get to it where you just have just enough that you're not suffering. And so you can still be complacent. And so the idea here is to ramp up the amount of pain that a person that you feel. Like for me, um, one easy way is, I want to eat good food. Um, I get real tired of peanut butter sandwiches after eating it for too long. I get real sick of ramen noodles after eating them for too long. So when I go to the store, if I haven't made X amount of dollars that week, then I punish myself and I buy the cheapest stuff, and I walk right past the stuff that I want. It's not, maybe not even that expensive, but it's a little more expensive than the cheap stuff. And I go buy the cheap stuff. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I wish I'd made more money, because if I'd made more money, then I can just go buy the more expensive stuff, because I do have the willpower to not buy it while I'm in the store. But if I buy it and take it home, if I have a chocolate cake sitting next to my desk while I'm at my computer working, I don't have the self-discipline not to eat that. I will eat that entire chocolate cake in a day or two. But I do have the discipline not to get up and drive to the store and buy chocolate cake and bring it back and eat it. Another thing that a person can do, is set kind of minimum income goals, where if I don't make X amount of money, then this week I don't go grocery shopping. And that means I get to, eat the last remnants of the food that I haven't already eaten that I don't like. Or maybe I get to eat less food. Maybe I get to be hungry. Maybe that'll teach me to get my act together and start working harder. And what this is all about is, this is about building that relationship to money and success, and the alleviation of suffering. That I think a lot of people that grow up poor, I've heard so many examples of entrepreneurs that grew up like dirt poor with nothing, were in gangs, sold drugs, so on and so forth. We're always, this far away from getting arrested or getting shot, or, whatever bad thing. Had one change of clothing, was they were hungry a lot. And those people, they tend to go after money and success harder, I think. Or at least some of them do. So I think building that kind of mentality is very helpful. And for people that are middle class like me, that grew up, pretty well taken care of, that can be a challenge. So I think artificially setting ourselves up to where we have that kind of scarcity, to where we're sitting at home thinking, man, I really love a burrito right now, but I've got these ramen noodles. Crap, I need to make more money. I think that's healthy. And this isn't for the kind of person that is, what I'm saying is not for the kind of person that's responsible, that can start a business while they're at their job. If you can do that, great. Why do you need to listen to me? I mean, I couldn't do that. Maybe I could now, but in the past I certainly couldn't. So I don't know. That's kind of, I think I either went on a rabbit trail and forgot where I was, or I think I probably said everything I have to say. So that's all for this video.